what was so incredibly lovely is to have somebody tell you you changed their life in a moment. And those are what those gifts are for. Most of my life, I've kept them to myself until that day when I saw what they could do.
Madhavi,
Yay, that's me.
we are remote right now. What do you think would be different if we recorded this podcast in a shared space?
Firstly, your space looks much more lush and vibrant than mine. So let's just imagine we're in your space. It's definitely a higher vibe, a higher frequency. In real life, there's just more, just your senses are connecting with more things, you're resonating more strongly. So, yes, in real life and in nature, especially, it's just a higher vibration.
What is it about being together in nature that makes us just more inclined to connect on that human level?
All of the vibrant colors, the different species, plants, animals, insects. There's just so much more vibrancy in nature and grounding and less blunting. And, in everyday society with concrete and buildings and whites and grays and blacks, and I'm wearing black today, sorry. We tend to mute out the vibration. Nature reminds us it's like a calling home to ourselves, to our souls. It's an inviting forward, inviting upward. And most friends would hear me whine and complain I need to go hug a mountain every 3 months.
Talk to me more about grounding in nature with others.
Grounding is a great way to connect with the earth. But when we ground, when you take your shoes off and walk in the grass, or you just walk on a muddy trail, which I've done recently in a nature trail, it pulls your nervous system back into the parasympathetic state, which is rest and reset. We are all one part of one existence, one force, one frequency. We are the divine expressing in different ways, but we're ultimately the divine.
You are an intuitive, a light worker, a sonic alchemist, and a certified yoga therapist who works both virtually and in person. Tell me more about your work and talk to me about how the nature and the impact of your work changes when you are physically present.
I have always been a curious soul, studying, learning, traveling, finding teachers because I'm insatiable. And I have always had this yearning to heal in all the ways. And so somehow, in my early days, it was a bit of psychic ability. And sometimes I knew I had it, and sometimes I forgot that I had it and would get frustrated that no one knew what I knew. And how could you not see this such obvious thing? I often feel I've been moved around the world and through jobs and places and friendships and cities purposefully, intentfully to consciously shift the energy or frequency of certain people I'm near, be it they're aware or not. It's happening. I continue to have this fervor of curiosity, and I've amassed this knowledge and practical tools that I want to share more broadly and more consciously. We all are walking each other home. I continue to honor and choose myself and love myself and do the things that bring me that joy and love, to both embody it so others are inspired.
But you gave me goosebumps when you said we're all walking each other home.
You are me and I am you. We're the same. We're here to remember through magnetic force, through standing in our own authenticity and alignment with our soul mission, why we're here. It's all about love. It's all about realizing that we are love. Love is all there is. It's only love. When you tune in and you click in and you lock in your alignment with divine force and your soul mission, you are a magnetic force. I am the divine and you're the divine, and I'm you and you're me. We're all one force.
There's something about when we all get together and we're on similar paths that magnetism just is amplified so much.
It was COVID. the time of COVID, we all remember very well. It was very lonely for me. I kind of asked the universe to call in a soul tribe, a tribe that I can expand with, that I can align with, that I can express my truest self with. Because I said to the universe, I want a soul tribe. I want to meet people like me. And it manifested. And last year I went on 4 retreats back to back. I had no time and not enough resources. And it somehow magically came together back to back. And I met so many wonderful souls. And our conversations just continue to go deeper and deeper. Meeting your soul tribe, you find validation for all these things you hold inside as a light worker that you keep quiet because it's, the masses sort of shame magical experiences. We've been shamed and suppressed into thinking the world is not magic. And if you say that it is, you're ostracized. You find resonant souls and you get together. Let me tell you, my gifts get lit. I'm known as the Oracle. On a particular retreat, it started rather early. I was, carpooling with a bunch of light workers, and somehow we're just bantering about. One was talking about marriage advice, another was talking about family advice, and I had divine words come out my mouth. I had stuff I never even knew myself, and I started to oracle or transmission higher knowledge. So they started recording me. And so I became known as the Oracle because around other light workers, specifically, my gifts are more, the antenna is sharper, more vibrant. And so the giggles are more, the laughter, the love, the instant bond you feel with people who are resonant. I continue to find soul tribe family members that are so loving and so deep because we see the depths of each other in our fullest authentic selves. They can see you and you can see them. And it's just love all the time, love and laughter. We light each other up. We share gifts. I bring my gifts are a mirror and they come out of them. So, like example, I finally shared that I'm a ley liner and good grid worker. And then it started to come out of them and they'd never done it before. Most of us are a bit of oracles. And so it goes deeper when we're together. So it's just beautiful when you're in your authentic self and you find your people that resonate with your frequency.
You teach Alchemy and Ascension Mystery School. Tell me more about that. And tell me what happens for participants when Mystery School convenes IRL in sacred location.
This mystery school was a lifetime in the making. I think it's why I came here. I have been insatiably reading since childhood, and not fiction, nonfiction, wanting to know about ancient civilizations, wanting to know why we're here. Just this insatiable curiosity of the stories of civilizations of the past, back to Egypt, where they practice ascension. And what ascension was the journey to enlightenment. How do we connect with the divine in our fullest, truest self? The ascension path is about the liberation of the self. In this dimension, to the higher self, you become free. You can manifest what you want, when you want, live how you want in your blissful highest state because you are the universe. You are divine. You are powerful. You are capable. You are love. And connecting with the earth's sacred vortex, the sacred grid of the earth, we are able to capitalize and optimize our ascension path and elevate ourselves into a knowing. It's an illusion that we're separate. And I'm about bringing all of these tools together because there's yoga over here, shamanism over here, sacred history, not talking to them. And I'm taking it all into a basket and saying they're not separate. They are all tools that come together that tell the story of how ancient masters ascended before us and how we can too. So I would like to offer other people the opportunity, if they seek it, to purify and alchemize their density, to open their container to receive directly all that they need to know to live their best life because they're loved.
And aren't we so much more empowered to alchemize and ascend when we're together?
Oh, yes. Yes. We are all rising. The frequency of Earth is rising. And the coming together of specifically light workers and those awakened will amplify And that will continue to break the density in the field of all the ways we've been living, which is sort of asleep. It's getting just sunlight and fresh air and being in nature. These things are just the pull. This is the pull forward on your path of when you take care of yourself, when you put yourself in the sunlight and nature and fresh air and eat good food. You're nourishing yourself and you're allowing your cells to tune in to something higher. Being together, choosing to be together with like-minded people raises your vibration. Choosing what your heart is pulling you toward is raising your vibration. And as the frequency of this earth continues to rise, we are gathering, we are collaborating, we are finding each other. It's beautiful, it's bliss. I love this. We found each other. Like, I'm so blessed to have found you, Allie. And the universe just keeps, smacking me in the face and saying, oh, here's another soul tribe member with clarity and intention. The world is your oyster.
It's our oyster together.
Yes, I am you, you are me. I want people to find their clarity and I want them to find their heart frequency, because the more people that find their heart frequency, you see the density breaks and this becomes everyone can live in nature and everyone can be free.
Is it easier to find your heart frequency when you're around like-minded others?
When I follow my heart, and yes, when I'm around resonant souls, you have this comfort and trust, and your nervous system relax because you feel seen, heard, and understood with less words, right? Less energy needed to explain who you are because you're in resonance with each other. It's when I've been called to sacred sites by myself and I'm listening and I'm connecting to the divine within me. I don't feel alone. I feel very connected to all things when I'm doing it. And I'm so happy. Just like when you're with your soul tribe, as I said, and you're resonating with other people, wait until you resonate with the divine and the cosmos, the magic that unfolds in your life, the elevation of your frequency is just, there are no words I can say on this podcast to explain some of the experiences that I have had when I'm in resonance with divine frequency. It's like you're walking in a big present. It's just your birthday party for life. It's all about frequency and resonance and raising your frequency so that you can call in good people around you. Surround yourself in resonance. And if you're not sure how to get there, be around people who are higher mind. I find when I've connected with other light workers, the connection was immediately tight. We're on the phone all the time, sharing our dreams, our thoughts, our downloads, our gifts, our whatever. We're here and we support each other unconditionally, and it just continues to validate and make you feel safe as you're walking in the unknown. I also love the idea of formulating retreats within the mystery school because it puts resonant people together in a sacred place. But these bonds that are established happen on day one and they're for life. This is your soul tribe because you choose it as other people choose it. And there's a coming together of resonance to raise the frequency.
You are deeply embodied and highly attuned to spiritual frequencies. What is an IRL experience that has been deeply impactful to your spiritual journey?
I took a girls' trip with two other light workers that I met on retreats last year, soul sisters. And I was hiking with them. I felt called to do some grid work at some petroglyphs. And they obliged, and we were having fun, just playfully hiking, brought our crystals, our oracle cards, giggling away, finished at this site of petroglyphs, and we found ourselves in a small cave at the end of the hike. It was late afternoon. And so we thought, oh, why don't we just harmonize together and sing? And we're singing in this cave all by ourselves, and this man walks up, hunched over with a cane, and he said, I heard your angelic voice is so ethereal. Like, what are you doing? He's like, can I come in? Can I sit down? And we're like, sure. His daughter came into my field, and she was deceased. He was, a bereaved man. He was sad, and he was hiking by himself. And he came into the cave, and she introduced herself about 10 minutes before he arrived to me. And I was very aware that this was part of his healing. His daughter needed to say some things for his healing journey because he has a soul mission that he needs to realize. And with so much love, she came through my heart. She's 10 years old, has the energy of a linebacker, and she was not going to be ignored. When he sat down, I gave him his daughter's name. And I said, "Do you know this girl?" And he cried. And it was just the release that he needed. I'm going to cry now because it was such a beautiful, life-changing moment for all of us. I asked him if he had any questions for her, which he did, and I answered. She said, "Dad, I see that you are moving around and sold all your belongings, but you're carrying all this energy around with you. You're really heavy. You think you're light physically, but you're really heavy, and you need to let that go. You need to put that down." And that was the grief of her. And never before had I mediumed so clearly. It was an hour or more. It was detailed about his life, her life, his family, and what was to happen next. The other two ladies that I was with, my soul sisters, had different gifts, and the three of us together were very powerful. One of them was a Reiki master, and the other seems to see through karmic lifetimes. And so when he came into the cave, she said, "Aren't you a shaman?" And I'm like, "How does she know that?" Like, she could see right through what he was here to do. My Reiki friend, I asked her to step forward and clear his energy field. And she did. She's a master. And he straightened his back and walked out of the cave, very youthful. Since we saw each other, many of the things that I shared did transpire. So I gave him some guidance of things that were to happen. What was so incredibly lovely is to have somebody tell you you changed their life in a moment. And those are what those gifts are for. Most of my life, I've kept them to myself for fear of judgment or some people thinking you're spiritually bypassing or showing ego. And I kept them to myself until that day when I saw what they could do. To see him stand with his heart open and his shoulders back and look at the sunset that day, feeling free finally from the heaviness of the grief of the loss of his daughter. And he was suffering in great pain from many things he didn't need to suffer from, is what his daughter was saying. And to see my gifts come forward because I felt safe with my other lightworker friends. To see him receive because he was open. We were all believing and open that day, and it was absolutely divinely orchestrated in its timing and magic. That day I shifted. I realized that I was sitting on these gifts selfishly, probably in the opposite, but in ego. My ego was afraid of being seen for being judged because I cared about how I appeared. Be you. Find you. We were all three in full force, giving our energy to this man and his healing, and he is so happy now.
That day changed all four of you.
It was absolute unconditional love. And that's the only words I can take away from that feeling that day. It was a stranger walked in. We all stepped forward, him included, and he received. And my soul saying, help people, because you can.
That human potential stacks too when we're together.
I want us all to expand because I think there's a lot of light workers out there that are identifying with one specific gift or skill. And I want them to have them all. We are capable of so much love.
Let's ascend. Let's flip the script. I want you to say something totally unhinged about the power of connecting IRL.
So the more we come together in higher frequency, the more powerful. It's like a cell tower. The message is stronger, the frequency changes, and then we amplify liberation and bliss and happiness and love into the field. And that's what we need to be doing. Right now, we're being kept separate on purpose and tired on purpose, bringing people of great resonance together to change the frequency, to change the earth grid, to change the way life is actually unfolding, is to allow love to come in and to embody that. I've been braver. I've been more clear. I'm more attuned and aligned with my higher self because I'm loved, I'm seen, I'm heard by those around me. And I've surrounded myself with that on purpose. We're so taught not to believe in magic. That's what we believe. And so that's what happens. Things don't come together. But if you start to believe,
The magic is real if you get together with the right others and you know where to look.
when you start to trust and love and relax all of that, you receive. You can only receive with a calm mind and a peaceful heart. And when you receive, my gosh, the knowledge, you stop needing to read books because it just comes in while you're sleeping. Um, True story. Being in good company, right? Being in company of people who've had experiences that validate you or make you braver than you otherwise would be the frequency you desire.
Jungle fire! Madhavi, this has been wonderful, albeit virtually. Just feel such a strong connection with you. And I can't wait until we're IRL. Jungle fire!
Look at you sitting in the jungle. You're just sitting there in bliss, Allie. I love it.